Welcome to the Power of the Palate National Virtual Cocktail Competition presented by Black Restaurant Week in partnership with Maker's Mark. Thank you everyone for joining us to this Make Your Mark Monday happy hour. I'm Warren Luckett, founder of Black Restaurant Week, and today we will watch the 4 top bartenders battle live from the Central region. The cities include Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and Kansas City. We will advance the 2 best bartenders. One will be selected from our special judges panel, and the other by the people's choice. Which is your vote? Those 2 bartenders will then advance to the next round of the national bracket competition for a chance to win $5K from Black Restaurant Week.
Today, each contestant will have up to 5 minutes to perform a live demonstration of their cocktail. After the bartenders have performed their cocktail demonstration, the judges will ask them questions to get to know them better and discover the inspiration behind the recipe. Each contestant will be judged on the following: name and inspiration, creativity, palate, drink presentation, style, and personality. Today's special judges include
Evan Geist, the Georgia Territory Manager for Beam Centauri, Brianna Riddick, the pastry chef at Rocksteady, and Kelsey Maynard, the managing partner at the Atlanta Breakfast Club.
Now here's how today's competition will work. Our top 4 bartenders are joining us on Zoom today, where they will each make their signature cocktail. Our judges are going to taste an exact replica of that cocktail right here at the James Room. They'll be made by our resident bartender, Will. After tasting the cocktail, the judges will interview the contestant, offer feedback about the recipe and presentation, and finally assign each bartender a score. So let's get started.
Our first contestant is Nigel Van from Chicago.
Hello everybody out there, my name is Nigel Van. I'm representing the Chicago area, the 312, and I'm so happy to be here today and introduce you my cocktail, Investment Stock. So Investment Stock is a double meaning to me. This is going to showcase one of my favorite things to consume, and that's soup. This one actually focuses on chicken noodle soup, and also investment as in investing into yourself, giving you some self-care, being the better version of yourself that you can be. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off with carrot juice. That's right, I'm putting carrot juice in this cocktail. And we're going to do 1.25 ounces. So this is going to give me some sweetness, a little bit of acidity. You want to make sure that you're using fresh carrot juice. Don't buy it. They add some other items in there that can kind of make an impact on the flavor that we don't want. I want to do this as like a farm to glass, if you would. So the fresher, the better. Then we're going to move on to a poblano liqueur. So you're going to find that in like soup stocks, you're going to have some types of vegetables. So that's why we have our carrot being represented. This gives me some green peppers, some celery notes, a lot of savoriness, and a little bit of salinity. So we're just going to do 1/2 ounce. That's all we need because it has a big punch of flavor. Now to brighten it up, even though we have acid in that carrot juice, I'm going to add a little bit more with my lemon juice. So this is going to make it a little bit brighter. I know you don't put lemon juice in your soups. Maybe you do, maybe your roux. I usually don't, but I'm putting a little bit here to balance out that acid and that sweetness. And then moving on, I made a demerara with rosemary. Exactly what I said is what's in it. So we have demerara 2-to-1, 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, and then some rosemary sprigs in there. So if you smell it, it's very herbaceous, gives you some umami notes. Things that remind you of soup. Again, everything I'm putting in here represents chicken noodle soup. So just 1/2 ounce as well. And then I'm going to add some dashes of celery bitters, just 2 or 3. I'm going to start with 2. And then we got the star of the show, so the Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark, I think, is the best whiskey that works with this cocktail because Maker's Mark is a wheated bourbon. They don't have rye. They substitute what most companies would do with mash bills would do with rye with a red winter wheat. So the 16% of what's in here, the mash bill, is going to be from the red winter wheat. And for that, it gives me some savory umami notes. There's a little bit of mushrooms going on, maybe a little bit of black pepper, white pepper in here. And that's something that I really want to showcase in this cocktail. So this is going to do 1.5 ounces. And then we'll give this a nice shake for about 15 seconds. I like to say you have to smile when you shake, and people can tell when they taste it. So, do a quick smile. And then I like to double strain because we're using fresh ingredients such as that juice, such as the like from the carrot and lemon. I don't want to get the pulp in my thing. I want this to be as smooth and silky as possible. So Now to brighten this up a little bit more, you add a little bit of lemon zest. This is just gonna give it great aromatics that I want. On top of that, a nice little rosemary sprig, that little smack, either on your hand or right on the glass. And then we'll just lay that right on top. And this is Investment Stock by Nigel Van representing Chicago. So thank you.
Nigel, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump in here because I'm so interested. I don't know. I love carrot juice. I was like a kid that watched Bugs Bunny and ate carrots as a kid. So the fact you put carrots in a cocktail, I was automatically like stunned.
I think that I wanted to do like a little wow factor. I didn't think that too many people would be putting carrot juice in their cocktail during this competition. So I wanted something that kind of represented some uniqueness and creativity. And I like to have an ingredient in my cocktails that are like talking components, if you would. I want people to go like, wait, what? And it allows me to kind of converse with my guests and my have communication, which I love talking to people. So this is a conversation starter, putting like really bright orange stuff in your juice or your cocktail.
I mean, creativity second to none. Talk to us a little bit about why you think this cocktail represents Chicago and the city and yourself.
So believe it or not, Chicago has a big soup following. We have a large page on one of our social medias, and it's just about people finding the best types of soup from all over the city. And so that's something that people probably really don't know about Chicago outside of Chicago. So this is a way to showcase and shine some light on something that people don't really think about when they think of Chicago.
So when you first started talking about the soup, I'm like, where is he going with this? Like, what's he really about to do? But then I saw you start with the base of the carrot juice, which I thought was very smart, because when you look at the base of a lot of soups in general, you're gonna start with your mirepoix. So it's gonna be your celery, it's gonna be your carrots. You had that peppery element, it's gonna be like your onions. And literally in my head, I was like, I wonder if he's gonna incorporate celery. And that second later, you said the celery bitters. So I think this is a very smart drink. You know your product, you know your ingredients, you know your flavor profiles. And I really enjoyed this drink. It was very thoughtful.
So if I was to get this with a meal, what would I pair this with?
You can get yourself a nice little Caesar salad with some chicken. I've actually tried this with salmon. I think it pairs perfectly. So if you're getting like a starter salad with a little bit of protein, I think that you're going to enjoy this cocktail a lot with it. I mean, that Makers is really standing out with that savoriness, but it's also giving it a little bit of sweetness, which makes it approachable to just about any audience out there.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Nigel.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Cheers.
Moving on to our next contestant, hailing from Cleveland, everybody say hello to Lawrence Wilder.
Hi, my name is Lawrence Wilder. I am competing from Cleveland, Ohio, and today I will be making my version of the vanilla bean whiskey sour. I will be starting with an ounce of aquafaba, which is chickpea juice, an ounce of chamomile infused lemon juice, which I created by juicing about 6 to 8 lemons and then steeping some Tazo chamomile tea for about 5 to 10 minutes. I use here vanilla bean simple. And then last but not least, we will use 2 ounces of our Maker's Mark Original. Unlike most whiskey sours that take egg, because I am using aquafaba instead of egg white, this will allow me to skip the dry shaking stage. Aquafaba is going to be a healthier and greener alternative because I am plant-based. So this is going to be an option that allows plant-based individuals to drink my drink. And for our garnish, we'll have the zest, dehydrated lemon zest, candied vanilla bean. That is my vanilla bean whiskey sour.
Can you talk a little bit about Maker's Mark and why that was the right cocktail or the right spirit choice for this cocktail?
I am not paid to say this, but Maker's Mark is my absolute favorite bourbon. So when I got an opportunity to compete, I knew right off the bat that I was going to attack the vanilla notes that are present in Makers. I drink Makers every day. The first flavor that I wanted to attack would be the vanilla notes. It's very present in the spirit itself. So I wanted to start with the vanilla being simple and kind of work from there.
Yeah, I mean, you're dead on with that. I mean, Maker's Mark is a soft red winter wheat in the mash bill, right? So it's going to be more of a front of the palate, a little bit sweeter. So that's the right answer, my man. It's that vanilla accentuates it and definitely brings out that sweetness, but it still keeps it spirit forward. So you're dead on with that.
So it's date night, right? And I'm whipping out this drink to impress somebody. What am I pairing this with? I'm bringing this drink and I'm pairing it with what? Am I in the appetizer stage? We getting good with the food? Where am I in this, and what am I putting with this?
Normally, a whiskey sour I probably would pair with like dinner itself, like the entree. But because I'm using aquafaba instead of egg white, it kind of gives this drink a little bit more versatility. You can drink this with an entree. I would pair this more with fish because it is lighter, but because it does have sweetness to its flavor profile because of the vanilla simple. So the versatility of this drink kind of gives it a lot of strength because you can drink it whenever. But me personally, I would drink this with an entree, more than likely some type of whitefish.
Yeah, I can see this with like a tuna tartare, like something really fresh, like a like some kind of sushi, as well as like a salad. Thank you. We appreciate you so much, Lawrence. Great job.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Our next bartender is from the 313 Detroit, Michigan. Say hello to Kay Muhammad.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Kay. My nickname is Kaylee. Either one doesn't matter to me. And I'm representing Detroit, Michigan. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit background about my cocktail and inspiration. So my cocktail name is called Respect, and it's RESPECT. The T is T-A, like the beverage tea. And the reason behind it is I'm from Detroit. The late and great Aretha Franklin inspired that because it's such a powerful song in itself. But not only with her, Detroit, we don't get no respect. I just want to show and showcase a great cocktail to represent everything great about Detroit. So as far as the tea aspect of the drink, I wanted to do a tea infused syrup to go with the Maker's Mark. Now in the syrup, I chose to use oolong tea. The reason being, I absolutely love Maker's 46. It's higher in ABV, it has a creamy, longer finish, and it has more bold and spice notes to it than syrup. Well, I'll say of the original Maker's Mark. Still great, but this is a very great bourbon for me to use like spirit forward cocktails. So basically, we're going to do 2 ounces of Maker's 46, and I'm doing it into a shaker, no ice. Put that right in there. And then I have citrus, is my lemon juice, and I have acid and sweetness is pineapple juice. The reason why I use pineapple juice is I think it goes great with bourbon, and that's 1 ounce to 1 ounce. It goes great with bourbon, and it goes with the all Maker's Mark because it has that caramel vanilla note to it, and all the Maker's Mark, so it's kind of consistent, and I feel like the pineapple really brings out that flavor in there. So we have that. My oolong tea syrup, I'm gonna do 1 ounce of that. Do the shaker. And then I made a citrus oil saccharum, which basically means sugar, oil, and Latin. And then what you get is a really great, bright citrus flavor. And it's not syrupy, it's flavor. And that's everything you want, especially complementing Maker's 46. And then for a mouthfeel, I have 1 ounce of egg white. And last but not least, the tiki bitters. Just 1.5 droplets is fine. And I'm gonna do a double string. And I use a salad cube just so the dilution doesn't overpower. That is my cocktail, and this is the RESECT. I'm using Baker's 46. So.
Well, we're gonna take a sip. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I was watching as you were preparing your beverage, and I wrote down technique because the way that you handle the bottles and the way you poured, even the way you slightly shook a couple of them to make sure they were mixed up. Where's your bartending? Where did you start? How did you get to where you are now? Give me a little background on you.
I do practice flair bartending. Although in Detroit, it's not very popular. People here just want to get my drink, your liquor, Coke, here we go. So I try to incorporate just small things in. This was more of a coffee drink. I didn't want to do too much showboating. I really want the cocktail to speak for itself. My background in bartending is about 13, 14 years.
As Kelsey mentioned, you look very comfortable around just the way that you move. Like, it's real sexy, it's real smooth. Like, you know where everything is, the way you picked up the measuring tools. Like, you know your way around a bar, and it's obvious with the time that you said that you've been in the industry. I love the background and the story behind behind your drink. I love everything about you and about how you connected your drink to Detroit. Just a few notes that I like that you had the oolong tea, because I'm like a tea girl. I love to drink tea, and I like that you incorporated that in there. I do wish it was a little bit more present, like the more herbal flavor of the tea, but I love that you included that. And actually, I'm not too familiar with what tiki bitters is. Is that a bitters from pineapple?
It's a spice bitters, so it's like cardamom, ginger, allspice. So it's like it's Hawaii tiki bitters, but people put in tiki drinks and everything like that. But it can also have that savory note underneath it.
So, what would you pair with this cocktail, food-wise?
Actually, I would prefer like a fish or pork. I would say pork would be great, but I don't eat pork, so stick with a fish. We can even do like a sous vide tuna, and that'd be great. Like a cucumber remoulade, and just add a little extra, like maybe jalapeno peppers, because they have a little spiciness to it, and they kind of go hand in hand. But it's not really a spicy drink. It's like kind of refreshing, but it's not too heavy.
Thank you.
Our final bartender this evening is from Kansas City, Missouri. Everyone say hello to Tamara McConnell.
Good evening, judges. My name is Tamara McConnell. I am representing Kansas City. The cocktail I'm creating for you all tonight is the Smoky Jazz. To our shaker tin, we're going to start with our citrus at 0.5 ounces. Smoked pineapple syrup, we're going to do 1.25 ounces. Star of the show, do 1.5 ounces of the makers. So I'm just going to do a quick shake on it. Double strain that into my glass. To that, I'm going to add the pineapple leaf and the planter seed barbecue spice. I'm just going to take that back in my bar spoon. Spread that across this leaf. I like to get the smokiness and the earthiness when you get the cocktail, and I knew that you would lose it on top of the ice, so I decided to add it to the top there. There's the Smoky Jazz.
Tell me about this drink a little bit. What made you pick the flavors, and I'm really curious about the syrup that you use. Tell me a little bit more about this.
First of all, I am a pescatarian, so I have learned to enjoy raw fruits and vegetables in their natural state. In that, I have enjoyed using a lot of those to create cocktails and syrups. So I chose the pineapple because of the citrus that it has in it. I love how it really grills well. So I usually use that as like a steak on the grill. So I chose it because of the citrus that it has in it, and then the sweetness and the syrup I just think that the pineapple holds the smoke really well. So I used the pineapple because I felt like it would be the best thing that I could smoke and create the syrup with.
So with that, tell us a little bit about why Maker's Mark is the right spirit for this cocktail.
I like Maker's Mark this year because of the caramel and vanilla notes that you get in it. For that, with like smoking the pineapple, I usually make a glaze at home instead of a syrup when I'm just gonna enjoy the pineapple for a steak burger. I usually just use a Maker's Mark, some brown sugar, reduce that, make a glaze, spread that on top of it, add it to my cedar plank, and then grill it. So I just love it because of the vanilla and all those great notes that you get from the Makers. It just brings together a great glaze for anything.
So I really like that you did the smoked pineapple. I'm just curious, did you actually cook the pineapple on the grill, or you use like a smoking gun? Like, what was your process to actually smoke the pineapple? I
actually smoked it on the grill. So in Kansas City, we are known for great music, lots of good barbecue. And so a lot of guys like to take the crown and say that they are the kings of the grill or the grill, chefs. And I feel like women have a place in that too. I soaked my cedar planks, sliced my pineapple into spears, added those pineapples to the cedar planks, got my grill really hot, smoked it for about 15 minutes on each side. And then from that, I just took it, put it in the blender, got it real smooth, and strained it through a cheesecloth.
I love a woman that knows her way around the grill, because men think that they're the only ones that know how to grill food. So I love that you did that with the pineapple.
Give us a little just background on yourself too, and your just experience in the industry.
My mother was a bartender. She put her way through college and took care of me and my two sisters on a bartender's salary. I watched my mother in her craft for a very long time as a little girl. I thought my mother had so many friends because in those days, she was able to grab us from school, go check in at work, and sometimes we had to sit over in the corner, work on our lesson. And so I watched my mother create beverages for people, and the relationship and the connection that she made with them always made me think of, wow, if I could have that many great friends, I want to be just like my mom. And then along the way, she started to explain to me as I got older, how she came about enjoying mixing and how, different flavors, made the craft something for her. And that brought something to life in me. I started my career in hospitality in 2007 at convention hotels. So I've worked in convention hotels for the last 14 years.
What would I be drinking this with?
I would pair it with a nice ceviche, maybe a tomato relish and a avocado mousse, because that's another one of my favorite things, being that I'm a pescatarian. I enjoy seafood, so this cocktail to me would go great with a nice ceviche.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for having me.
All right, Nigel.
Man.
What do we think about Nigel?
I like Nigel a lot. I think he was the most creative. Originally, I was like, where is he going with the soup idea? But then he ended up with the celery bitters and the carrot juice, and he really pulled those flavor profiles together for what his concept was. So I thought it was super creative. I'd never heard of anybody.
Is it weird that I thought all the soup talk, he would have made like a warm beverage, like a toddy almost?
That too.
Chicago is Code F in Chicago. If that toddy thing would have came through, I'd have been like, hands down, nuts.
Vanilla brown.
I think for it to have vanilla in the name, I didn't taste enough vanilla.
I didn't either.
I think sometimes we bank on the vanilla of the Maker's Mark.
Yep.
And it should play a little harder. If you're gonna be vanilla brown, you should make some more vanilla in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know he used the dried vanilla bean, but I think the drink would have helped with actual vanilla extract, or you can have like that vanilla bean paste, which I think would have brought out the vanilla bean. I definitely think he accomplished that old school look of the drink, but still sexy at the same time. And I do like that he said that the drink was vegan and that he used the aquafaba.
Right.
But I think he was just lacking in a little bit of his stage presence.
Respect T.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Yes, that's it.
Put some respect
Put some respect on
her
Detroit.
name.
Her story made sense. I liked her presentation. I think we all kind of agree. Maybe just a little sweet. A little too pineapple forward, kind of taken away from the spirit.
Okay, so Kansas City, Tamara.
Yep, Tamara. Smoky Jazz. I like the way she put the garnish together on top, tried to put the spice into it. Maybe didn't come through as much as we thought.
So for the name to actually be Smoky Jazz, I was expecting to be like hit with the smoke or even overpowered with the smoke. Or even like literally like maybe even a drop of maybe, I don't know how this would taste in drinks, but even a drop of liquid smoke, I think would have pulled through.
You're right.
Pulled through with the pineapple.
Come on, chef.
So for the drink to have been named Smoky Jazz, I definitely would have. Even if she did like a presentation with the smoking gun and like had the smoke, or like, you know, had the cup with the smoke and then over it and release, you know, something along those lines. Yeah. If you're, baby, come with the smoke, honey. I know she know how to grill.
Right. I think to the point that she almost expected the pineapple
to carry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, pineapple doesn't. It just the sweetness just takes over.
It's too sweet. It's very, very sweet.
Yo, this is gonna be a hard decision.
Do y'all feel good about our choice?
Yeah.
It's a tough decision, but I think we made the right choice.
That concludes our Central Regional Round. Vote now for your favorite bartender. The People's Choice poll closes soon. Thanks again to our partner Maker's Mark and all of our community partners for the competition. Join us next Monday, August 30th, as we host the West Regional Round. We will see the best bartenders from the Bay Area, Dallas, Houston, and Los Angeles. Check out the Black Restaurant Week social media pages to see who won tonight's battle.